Hey everybody. Sorry I've been away for a couple of days. I've been sick as a dog. I'm still not 100%, but getting better. So, in the news, um Tucker Carlson came out with this bombshell reporting about the assassination. I don't find it to be such a bombshell, and if people didn't already know this or at least like assume, um then it's pretty shocking because it's what, a year and a half later, and we still don't know how how and why um, someone was able to come a quarter inch from killing our president. How's that possible? I mean, we know nothing, nothing. And this is going to be my opinion, and my opinion only. They keep, from the get go, all we kept hearing is, it's major incompetence, major negligence. Really? Do you really think that? Do you really think they didn't know this was all a setup? I mean, obviously they want the president dead. It's very obvious, and this was they all knew. Everybody knew in terms of because it was during the Biden administration still, the CIA, the FBI, they knew all this was happening because things the way it was after how close he got on the roof that people saw him and were yelling and the police knew that there was somebody up there and they didn't stop the guy from shooting him. I mean, everything just the way it was and the way the missteps, how could that be negligence? It cannot be negligence. And supposedly, this Thomas Crooks had no digital footprint, which I don't believe, because now all of a sudden it came out that there was, obviously was wiped, right? And how is it that these guys, the shooters, that they're always like nerds, they always seem to be on the right and somehow go the opposite direction. And I think, and this is my opinion, they were MKULTRA. What is that? If you guys don't know, basically in the 50s, the CIA used to mind control people with certain types of drugs. They were able to brainwash them. They were able to get them to do what they wanted them to do. And like they could go and basically shoot someone and then they don't remember anything after. So I think that is what happened. I wouldn't be surprised if that the same case with Tyler Robinson, um, because it just doesn't make sense that a person can believe one thing and then go to look to the extreme um, in such a short period of time, unless you're brainwashed. And this MK Ultra project, like in there, they were sued because they were denying it, and all of a sudden, after they were sued, they admitted that there was this program. They say they don't do it anymore, but who believes the government? Like, who believes the CIA? And I don't think it matters who's in power. Meaning, doesn't matter if it's going to be 4 years of the FBI during the Biden administration, and it doesn't matter if it's the Trump administration. There are people that are in power that no matter who comes into power, it's going to be their way or the highway. So I don't think we're ever going to get the truth out of Dan Bongino or Cash Patel. Because think about it. If you came in and somebody comes to you and says, if you say anything or if you do anything, we're going to kill you and your whole family. No, what are you going to do? Are you going to follow instructions or you're going to still do what you want to do? Like I just it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I was looking at pictures of this guy, this Thomas Crooks. I'm like, he looks like he's 12. He looks like he's 12. How in the name did they get this kid to do that? How did he become such an amazing, shooter? How? He was obviously trained. There's no question he was trained. And there are people that were involved, and I think that they knew about it and they made sure that they did everything for it to be covered up. And they're going to continue doing so. They're going to continue doing so, and we're not going to find out. We're just not. And not just that, during that time, the State Department and the Intelligence Department were monitoring people online. So if you were ever to talk about, certain subject, especially like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the words or not, so I'll just refrain. But especially that, if like certain keywords, if you were to type them, or somebody looking for a bomb or whatever, they get alerted and you're put on a list. And the amount of searches that this kid did before, and no one stopped him, no one said anything. Well, obviously not, because they wanted it to happen. So when you want something to happen, you're going to pretend you don't see it. So I was thinking this from the beginning. I've watched every podcast, and everybody says everything except to accuse, like, the CIA and the FBI. It's obvious. Just say it. We all think it. This was obviously a setup. They did not want him to be president. Sorry. They wanted him dead. It's plain and simple. Thank God they missed, but I mean, if you look back at like Lee Harvey Oswald, like all of them, I think they were all MKULTRAD, all these guys that end up, doing that. They all, and because they're telling us that they don't do it anymore, we're supposed to believe it. I don't. If you want to get somebody to do something and you don't want to be blamed, you're going to get some, nerd that has no social life or whatever, smart. They all the same patterns. It's crazy. And after a while, when it keeps happening over and over, something's got to give. We're like, what the heck's going on? So I'm glad Tucker Carlson, who I hate, came out with this, but I don't think it's anything. I think he's basically saying what we're all thinking and have been thinking for quite some time. Do I hope that they tell us the truth? Sure. Do I think they will? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Good night.